Right, so with that sped up section with my little saucer dish, you start by putting this little O-ring piece there. You've got like, I think it's about 7 or 8 little notches underneath here. And you line them up and then you push that down. Then you've got your bracket support. So you've got 4 pieces for that. You plug one flat white V shape, one flat V shape into the V shape with this like module. Then you've got a little V shape on this side, and then you've got a little V shape on that side. With the one V shape, it's got a long rod which goes through the middle of that module and then pops out the other side, and then this V shape just plugs onto that little rod. Underneath here, you've got like a little circular piece. You push that in first, and then you've got some little triangular tabs sticking out there on all 4 of the arms. And then you just line those up and then just push them down. So that's the saucer section. Then you've got like the little bracket that the saucer section sits onto. So you've got the O-ring there. That slips onto this here. But you've got like 1, 2, 3 little notches, and then 3 big ones. You've got one there, and one there. You've got to line them all up. That's why I paused the video, because I couldn't figure it out on the video, and then once I realised, you know, with the notches there, just lined them all up and pushed it into place. Then you've got 2 little pieces. You've got this piece here, the J part. You just 2 holes and a tab there, and then you've got this little piece here, and you've got to get the orientation right. There's a little rod that sticks out this side, and there's a flush side that side with the tab, and you just push that into place. Then, with your completed saucer, if you see the little L-shaped tabs on the feet, on the legs, those just mount into those 4 there, and that will complete the saucer dish, and eventually that will sit on here. So that's that sped up section done with the saucer dish. I've just discovered this. So I've pushed the little 4 L-shaped mounting tabs on the bottom of each arm into the actual mounting platform. I've just realised that this actually moves. That's pretty cool, that is. I don't know that. Huh? How about that? So that will eventually plug into there. You got that little peg, and that will slot into that peg hole, and you just drop that in, and then again this moves. That's pretty cool, that is. And it actually moves that way as well. Oh, that's cool. So that's that done. I'm not going to push this right in yet. I'm probably going to mask this off and then spray paint this separately, and then once all that's been spray painted, then just push it back on. That very easy comes off, as you can see. Right, doing this module area just below the radio dish, as it were, on page 43. Now, there's not many pieces that's going on page 43. It gives you the checklist on page 43, but I think that should be on the next page, because it's telling me to do all this, but I've only got like 6 parts, I think it is. Right, so you've got that little dinky part which goes into the side of that dinky part which makes up the main module. So there's the main module, and that slots into like, you've got like an L channel here, and then you've got like a square C-shaped channel here. And there's your dinky part, that piece there, that slides into the back of there. Then it's telling me to put that part on top and that little flimsy part on top. So there's the first part, and the second part is that piece. Yeah, it's this piece here, which goes onto like this little armature that sticks out slightly. So that's that there, and that comes out here. And then it also comes out down here, and there's a little square here, so that's where you push that into. You do have to glue these parts on, by the way. So this little arm comes down slightly round the side of that big module and into that square part there. And then last but not least, you got this flimsy part, and that was squeaky bum trying to cut that off with my scalpel. Where was that part now? Yes, that's that part. So you got like a main module piece here, and then you got two prongs that go down into this like recessed half a circle, and then you got that prong that goes down in that recessed half a circle, and it was like a hole there, rectangular, and then you just push that down, and then them just simply drop into that little recess. So that's page 43 done, just a couple of parts. Right, welcome back. The next update is going to be over the course of 2 pages, because on one page there isn't that many parts to put on, but the second page there is a lot of parts to put on. It's mainly around this checklist here. They've put it on this page, which is page 44, but I think they should put it on the next page. They've been doing this all the way through the instructions, putting the checklist first, then the parts second. Right, so you've got 2 little dinky parts just in front of the radio dish. Then you've got another 2 dinky parts to put on top of there. And then the same on the other side with a couple of extra parts. And then you've got all these rods to put on. And there's a few rods, and they're very flimsy indeed. So that covers page 44. Right, so page 44 was this piece here with a little cutout. So you push that down into a hole there and a hole there. Once you push that down, then you put this little square piece into the cutout section and push that down. Then you've got 2 tiny dinky parts. You've got which one was it now? You've got that one there, which is like an L-shaped rod. You got this part, and then a 3mm mounting tab that you got to push down. Then you've got this little box here, that with a little tab, just push that down, and that's got 2 little rods coming off there. I don't know if it feeds some fuel into there or something. Then we move on to this side. Same again, rinse and repeat with this part. So you've got the main part, the cutout bit that you push in, and then you've got the dinky little rod, and then you've got the box with the 2 rods on. Then you've got this part here, which is just a plate. So it goes from there to there, and then there's a rod on the raised section of the hull, and then there's a rod hole. There's a pinhole there on the raised section, and then there's a pinhole with a pin onto the mandible. So it goes from the hull down to the mandible. Then you've got to put. Then I've got to turn the page over, because there's your checklist with all the rods and the bits and bobs. So there's still a lot of parts. So I'm turning the page round, and this is the finished part of the checklist. So you've got 2 rods there, you've got 2 rods there, you've got 1 rod on that section there, and then you've got 2 rods on there, and it tells you with the arrows pointing down with the connecting pins and the rods, connecting pins and the pinholes. Right, so you've got that one there. So it connects from the back of the tunnel cockpit arm all the way down there, and then it connects into a little hole in this cutout here for the inner workings of the hull. Then you've got, what's the next one? Then you've got this one here, goes all the way down and connects there. Then you've got this rod here, 2-pronged rod, which connects to a hole there and a hole there. Then you've got this rod here. Then you've got that rod, which was that one there. Connects between those two mounted sections into the hull that's already been moulded in. It comes down here, down there, up, and then it connects to that main plate, if you remember from the first page. Then you've got this rod here, which connects from that little hole there all the way up, down there, and then it's got its own connector moulded into the rod with two little prongs, pinhole, and then push them into the pinholes there. And then last but not least, you have that one. So this one here has got a box on it, and then it follows this rod that I've just previously explained. It goes right close, and then it connects into the inner workings there. So that's page 44 and 45 done. A lot of fiddly work indeed. Right, Revel have been in contact with me this week, and they've told me they can't supply me with the LED wires. They can only supply sprue parts. So I've had to go with my original plan and do my own wiring. So what I've done, underneath there, I've just drilled a hole just behind Luke and Han's head and just behind the seat. And I just drilled with my Dremel, poked the LED through and hot glued it. It's not the neatest of jobs, but it's going to be all right. So I don't know if you can make it out, but you can just see the LED there. It's just behind the seat of Luke. And then if I just test the battery, it's getting them wires in there. Get in your bloody thing, that's it. And there you go. Actually, I better turn my flash off. You can't tell because the flash is going in. So I've turned the flash off. So putting this back on there. Yep. Oh, switch on your bloody thing. Wire keeps popping out. There we go. Oh, the bloody red one's popped out again. Get in there, you bloody thing. There we go. So you can see that it is working. So then what I've done after that, I turn the flash back on, is I'm using the clear parts because I don't want any dust going in there, because if it dust gets in there, it'll go through the hole at the back and it'll just fill. You know, over the years, the dust will get inside the Falcon. I don't want that to happen. So I've put the clear part in. So what you do, going on to the plans, you can see there that on the front of the gunner fascia, there's like two little tabs at the side, rectangular hollow tabs with a little rectangular tab inside. That locks into two little holes on those square tabs on the edge, the left and right side of the clear part. And then once you plug those in, then there's two little tabs on the inside of that main plate. Actually, I can show you it this way. So that's how it locks in on the inner part, and then the outer part there's like a hollow tab, and that locks onto a little mounting tab that's mounted on the rear of this plate. And that just clicks into place, and it's really strong, so I haven't had to glue it. There's still a plate I've got to put on there because I've got to the actual turret, the actual gun itself. I've got to assemble that, and then a plate locks that into place. And then on Han, same thing on the back there. Same thing with the glue gun. I actually made it a bit neater this time because I actually drilled a bit more forward on Luke, and I grazed the top of his head. So I was going to originally put the hole on that line there, but I've actually brought it back about 5mm. So it sits behind the actual seat itself. So switching the flash back off again. Hopefully I can do it better this time. So you can see that it's all working. Oh, the red wires come out again. So that's all that. It's lighting up an absolute treat. So that's that. It's a shame that Revel couldn't supply me with the extra LEDs, but like I said, I'll just do it this way. So with that being said, now this is now ready. These two are now ready to be mounted onto the actual top and bottom of the Falcon.